Welcome back to the Creation Station, everybody, and thanks for joining me on a little journey to explore piano colors. Brand new, stumbling around in the software, getting my controller lined up, and so walk with me, will you? This is brand new to me, and I'm always in search of things that can replace piano but sound evocative, and I thought this is a plugin that can do this. Let's take a look. Okay, let's look at the editing options. So obviously, you can see this is not quite graphically clear here, that these are actually tabs. And you can click on them and you see how they turn on or off. They can be activated over here. Just follow my mouse. I think you see this. Let me turn this back off. Let's turn the individual tabs off and see what's behind them, what is hiding behind each tab here. Okay. Okay, that's damper noises. That almost sounds like steps. That's really cool. And there's options. So this is a little bit like mystery meat here. You have to hover over the name. That's what webmasters call a button on a website or an internet functions that doesn't tell you what it is. So if you hover over the name, you can see there's an option dialog showing up on the right-hand side. And here is the different textures. Let's see, leather. What's that sound like? That's pretty cool. Mallet rub. Oh, pretty cool. Stick. Ooh. Really cool. So it can be turned on or off. Then we have, let's just isolate them mechanically. Here's grand piano noises. That sounds like the noise of very, very pristinely recorded somebody stepping through each note without a hammer actually striking a note. Let's say crossfade. What's that? And then we can apply a low cut so it doesn't boom too much. Makes a lot of sense to me, these controls that are there. Okay, pedal itself. So if I hit my sustain pedal over here on the keyboard, you can't see that I'm hitting this, but you can only see it on because this MIDI indicator light comes, this tiny little white dot. So, you know, that in itself just also helps realism with the piano sound itself. So we got even noise, tube microphone noise. That's funny. Okay, good. Let me turn all three attacks back on. For now, I'm going to take the pedal back off and move to the next layer. Let's turn noises off, go to layer 1, which is a melodic layer. Let's look at that. There's also a certain amount of randomization involved here. I still have to track down how to make it respond to the dynamics with which I play. Let's take a look here. Resonance depth. Let me go back to layer number 1, and here's layer number 2. Let's see what that does. Huh. It says empty. Okay, let's bring something in there. Brush percussion. What's that? Ooh, I see. So at the beginning of the sound, it actually creates percussion. How cool. Let's take a look at plucked. Ooh, so this is now a plucked piano in combination with the automatic layers. Let's look at that. That's some really good reverb processing in there. I don't know if they did that with one of the convolution reverb IRs in there inside of Contact, but it sounds really good. All right, let me switch all 3 layers off and look at particles. You can see I'm only touching a little bit on it because I don't want to create like a, thesaurus of knowledge about this plugin because the options are obviously super deep. But I wanted to just get some inspiration, a sound that would prompt me to write a song or a piece of music to it. Aha, that's interesting. That's in a different time signature against the original slow sequence here in the noises. Let me turn all that on together and see what happens now. Why now, I love that. I mean, that sounds really inspiring. I could just hear like a cello going against this. That would be so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that needs to be saved. And in this version of Piano Colors, it's going to be recorded as a snapshot. So I'm just going to hit this little floppy icon over here. Can't believe they still use floppies. All right, guys, just a second ago, I wanted to just stop and find out how to send this one pretty sound to reverb. But in stumbling around and trying to recreate it, because it disappeared all of a sudden, I came onto the layer number 2 preset, and I chose plucked, processed, complex, smooth, tapped on bright and cinematic, and look, that's the sound that came out. This is going really far into a territory I love exploring. So let me turn the noises back on, noise layer, layer 1, and particles. Let's see what comes out of this now. Wow. That makes a song in and of itself. That's really astounding. Has to be saved as well. Next, harpsichord dream bowed, because this sounds like somebody's bowing the strings. Wow. The arpeggiator over here can also control layer 2. Let's see what happens if we do that. I'm going to again switch layer 1, noises and particles off. And now I'm going to go and activate layer 2. Okay, so for a sustained sound with that length of sustain, arpeggiating that doesn't make a lot of sense. But let's take a look again here. It's just baffling the amounts of options that are in here. This is a really deep program. That's why it wasn't cheap. So, but it's really wonderful. Well, guys, here's an appendix. So I thought I might do an appendix. I just took a little break, came back to this fantastic instrument called piano colors, and I took all the arpeggiation automatic stuff out and began to build some layers that were just plain geared to be pianos. And here's what I did. First of all, listen to what I came up with. Back to the regular video, back to the regular scheduled program. Okay, let me then also show you one of the other options I find really cool and helpful in order to create dynamics and, you know, like an interesting shifting and changing of textures, which is automizing this volume layer over here. All I had to do was click on this fader over here. It said learn MIDI CC automation, and then move my volume pedal that I have on my left foot. And lo and behold, now the volume moves, and let's see what that does. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I went back to layer 2 and went back to the presets, chose Screws Buzz. What a weird name. But it does something to the texture. And I switched on the arpeggiator button for layer 2. And that creates more motion around the harmony, like here in F major 7 chord. And that creates just lovely dynamics, you know, within the sound. So the sound breathes and it expands and stuff like that. I guess I'm going to have to save this one also. Here we go. Bowed. Controller 11. CC 11 now controls layer 2. Uh-oh, boys and girls, here's another one. I'm just exploring the layer interoperability here of this plugin. And I thought, what would happen if we took one sound and removed all the attack and created like a beautiful, spacious, pad-like, mysterious sound, like a pad sound, but organic. Here's the sound I came up with. Look, it is a mallet, again, a felt mallet, from which I had removed all the attack. You can see this here, that layer 1 is controlled over here in this section, and layer 2 over here in that section. So I brought the color way up into the bright territory. Look. If you keep it like here in this, in the left spectrum, part of the spectrum of this slider here, the sound is warmer. And if you open it up to the right side, tonal shift does a similar thing. And this particular layer is controlled by controller 11 over here. In this case, I assign controller 11 to that layer 1. I still haven't figured out how to make it memorize that. I may have to save it as a patch in and of itself. Now let me turn layer 2 back on and the noises, the key noises. So here we go. This is where we are. That's just my first step into piano colors. There's going to be a lot more. So that's just video number 1. I may combine them with another video. This, again, you can find out wherever Native Instruments sounds are being sold. I'll provide a link in the description. If you like this video, found this helpful and inspiring, and if it moved you to create something beautiful and inspiring, please give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Stephan Oberhoff signing out from the Creation Station. Peace.